to have you. Welcome to this day's CIFF Media episode. We're together with Caroline and Kaat from Bellerose and e-SCM.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And we'll have a bit of a talk about the space between brands and technology, and how technology can assist brands in terms of getting more transparency and efficiencies across different aspects. So pleasure to have you.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Thanks
Very
for the
happy.
invitation.
Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, and thank you, Kaat, for being with us, flying
Pleasure.
from Belgium.
Yes. Always good. Always good. Maybe we'll just, as a starter, Kaat, you can give a quick introduction to Bellerose as a brand for those who might not know it, seeing as it's not present in the Nordic markets.
So Bellerose is a Belgian fashion brand founded in 1989. It started as a men's brand, but it has grown as a family affair and is now offering clothes for men, women, and kids. The name is coming from Bellerose, a village in New York, and it was also the first inspiration for the brand. Today, Bellerose has 25 shops, all designed with raw beauty, all unique stores, 600 multi-brand stores worldwide, and of course our own e-shop.
Yes.
We produce around 400,000 pieces every season, over 1,000 references, with around 65 suppliers all around the globe.
It sounds like a pretty vast business. And if you were to put just in short terms, what would you say your identity is, and what would you categorize to say who are your core customers?
Bellerose stands for casual sophistication, a confident silhouette, but with effortless elegance. The Bellerose customer is like a city family who likes to go on a weekend trip in the nature, go for a hike. So they're really looking for quality, but also look chic, but still feeling casual and comfy. That's really what we stand for.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What I like with Bellerose is it's often for me colors and patterns.
Yes.
You're really good with patterns.
Very expressive.
Yeah.
Yes. And maybe then just for the listeners as well, in regards to e-SCM.
Yeah, so we're on the tech side.
Yes.
Honestly, it's the back of the scene, I would say.
Yes.
So e-SCM stands for e-supply chain management. So we actually are a supply chain platform, and we help brands such as Bellerose improve and optimize our processes with a supplier. So we provide a platform where the brand is going to work in real time with suppliers, covering mostly upstream operations such as purchase order management, production follow-up, and shipment monitoring of the collections for the brand to be sure they get the stock on time and deliver the market.
Interesting. And I mean, it's the platform itself and the company itself has been built on obviously fashion experience.
Yeah.
How would you say that sort of shaped the capabilities that you're actually able to deliver on?
Yeah. So, well, first of all, we're based in France. Yes. So it's a French-Belgium collaboration.
Yeah.
So we've started 15 years ago, originally with a project with the surfwear brand Rip Curl on the coast.
Yes.
And we at that time started to work with them because they were struggling with data management, visibility over transport, and also a lack of communication with their suppliers worldwide when you have to deal with production issues and deliveries. So we came up with a platform where actually we would foster collaboration, connecting all the people together so that they could work in real time, share the visibility, the data, and then accelerate their process while securing the operations.
Yes.
And in the end, the platform has been really designed for the fashion industry because this is the expertise we have grown through time. And we know about the specificities, the language. So we use matrices like model, size, color. We know about order splits, assortment. And we do handle finished products, but also raw materials and components in case of contract manufacturing.
Yes. And Kaat, from your point of view, what was it that made you want to partner with a company such as e-SCM?
A company as e-SCM, it made our life much easier. Actually, before we had a lot of manual encoding in our systems. Data was not up to date. The data was not going through the whole company. The data we had was just not going in our system as we wanted. The the reality of the data we had was not the case in reality. So when we started with e-SCM, we really wanted to solve it, and we managed to solve that. The data we have today is much more accurate. We have a whole company that can access to this data, have clear visibility on what's going on, and what they need to do to take the right decisions. So it's very important that we can take right decision, and we can only do that if we have the right data.
Yeah, and Kaat is in direct collaboration with suppliers because she's overseeing supply management. So for her, it was even more important for her day-to-day process and work with them.
Yeah. And your solution, it allows for sort of real-time visibility. What kind of transparency do you think that unlocks for brands and consumers?
Yeah, well, at the level of the brand, to work with such visibility helps you share data, share visibility between teams internally. So it's not only collaboration with your supplier, it's also internally to the company, because we know that a lot of organizations are still working in silos.
Yes.
So the idea is really to bring everybody to work together. And with this visibility, you can be more in anticipation than reaction. You can improve your decision-making process, because you have the information, you can react more easily, and that impact the whole business at the end, because supply chain is a big data ecosystem, and there is a lot of costs along the value chain.
Yeah.
So that's where you can actually impact very quickly your business.
Yes.
And at the level of the supplier, the consumer.
Yes.
Well, definitely we are collecting a majority of data, which is actually part of ESG reporting and the ESG dimension today, which has become critical for transparency objectives. So at the end of the day, it's how you start structuring your data collection to be able to build up also the communication you want to provide to end consumer, and because you have more transparency with your suppliers.
Yes. And do you have any sort of like real examples on how that comes to play in terms of real-time data being able to help brands make better decisions?
Yeah, definitely. Well, if we think about at the level of the production, so first stage, a brand designs, conceive a collection, then they are placing orders with suppliers, and production starts. So for example, Kaat, you probably have a real case example.
Before we didn't manage to get our whole production in time, and now everything is there in time. Which is very important, because you don't want to sell your summer collection in winter. You need to have your summer collection in summer. Also to deliver to the multi-brand stores, they want and need the goods in time to put them in the stores. And the sooner they are in store, the sooner we can sell them. So it makes money.
And real-time makes things easier, because she's informed straight away if there's any delay in the production, if there's a shortage of raw material. She would be informed on the platform directly by the supplier, and she would be able to interact and react with the supplier instead of losing days handling emails on the side or phone calls.
Before, our mailbox was the main object that we used to handle all this stuff, but a mailbox is not the best way of handling it. If you were out for one day, you had 200-300 mails that you had to handle. There was no follow-up. Also, in between the team, it was sometimes difficult to see what the other person agreed on. Now it's all in the system. It's clear for everyone what we can expect, what is accepted. Everyone knows what to do.
Yes. So how would you say this sort of increased level of transparency has helped the collaboration between both internal and external partners?
That really brings everybody to work together and to connect the whole supply chain actors, which is definitely the challenge for organization these days. And at the end of the day, it's how you can unlock all this value throughout the process, because it's a whole workflow that we have on the platform. It's just not making decisions and inputting data. It's actually a workflow process you follow up, and that helps and guides the supplier throughout the process, and even freight forwarders at the end for shipment monitoring.
Yes. And going about all of these aspects, how do you actually get the suppliers on board and to accept the platform as a whole?
Key question always.
Actually, it went very smooth, because it helps them as well. They can see what we want from them, which is also helping them to check on a daily basis. I actually explained it to all of our 65 suppliers how they have to work with the platform, and they're all capable of doing it. It's not a problem for them.
No.
It's actually how they work, just more digitalized now. Whoa.
Yeah, in a way, you help them also to step up their skills.
Yes.
It's true, and it's a question we get all the time. But actually, they appreciate having such a tool, and even in terms of the language, it's not an issue because the platform is available in 3 languages, and they can connect easily. It's a web access platform, so you just need a login. So it's not like you expect them to have any particular technology or equipment.
No. And I mean, you know, a lot of technologies can be quite difficult for different brands and people in general to sort of adopt and utilize. But how would you categorize, Kaat? How would you say that the platform is in terms of usage? In terms of, do you actually need to upskill the team members that you have for them to be able to utilize the platform?
It's a very logic platform. It shows what it is.
Yes.
So I think everyone can use it. Everyone sees in the platform what they're using. So actually, the logistics team won't see everything about production. For example, they only see the logistic parts. The suppliers, they don't see, for example, what's going on in the warehouse. They only see what's going on their orders that we launched. So everyone is just seeing what they need, which makes it very easy. And we see everything, so we can oversee everything. But it's logic.
Yes.
Yeah. And we do support the brand sometimes for onboarding suppliers, of course, because it's part of the project and it's a big success factor, of course. And it comes at the end of the project. So either we help the brand onboard suppliers or the brand decides to do it itself, and that was the case of Bellerose, because they have such a close relation with their suppliers. It's a real partnership. So for them, it was easier to actually get them to use it.
Yes.
And sometimes we have suppliers common using e-SCM for different brands, actually, in the end. Yeah, now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Made it very easy for us.
I can imagine. And looking at you as a brand, how important is it for you to actually have this quality control all the way, you know, from getting the raw materials to being able to deliver the finished goods?
As a brand, you of course want to deliver good quality products to your customers. So it's important to have a quality check on every step of the road. If you don't do it, you will get a lot of waste, of issues at the end. So we control on every step. And it's also logged in the system. For example, if we don't agree with some samples or things are not okay, we can block it in the system. And that makes it very easy for us that they can deliver secretly what happened in the past. Now everything is blocked and secured, and only the good stuff comes in our warehouse.
Yes. And how do you actually see this in terms of, you know, accessibility? The platform is cloud-based. Is that something that makes it more accessible for you? How does it work in terms of utilization?
As all our suppliers are working in it, it's very important that it's cloud-based because they're working all in it.
Yes.
So they need to have access, which was before not possible because our previous tool was not cloud-based. Now they're located in China and they can perfectly access it without any problem. If they have an internet connection, they can work in it. But also for me, I don't have to be somewhere to be able to access it. If I want to open it now, I open it, I can work in it. Yeah. So it helps us a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely the agility you gain by working in cloud, being a SaaS solution these days. Anyway, it's very spread out. But on our side, let's say from a more technical point of view, it's how it makes things easier for the customer, for the brand, because we do all the maintenance. We provide all the security, of course, the data security, which is key. Yeah. Working with the cloud infrastructure and the cloud service. And on our side, what is important for us is that we work with a cloud, Microsoft Azure in Europe, so we store all the data in Europe. And I think sometimes for brands, it's also important that we align on that.
Of course, makes perfect sense. And like technology has been shaping the industries and the future, and will continue to do so.
Yeah, it's only the beginning.
Looking from your point, working for a technology company, how do you actually see technology shaping the future?
Yeah, well, definitely it's helped to really start a transformation of the industry, which is undergoing, and that will really intensify because we all have AI coming into our lives. What we see is that we're going to probably automate even more tasks than what we've done so far, and really probably straighten the predictive analysis for different topics. I mean, and it's not only for e-SCM. A lot of things are going to be more predictive on sales, on margins, on a lot of different topics. And it will be on our side, the tech people, the objective to actually create and have the vision of this next version and help the brands appropriate this new tool and get them to learn and to be able to use it very quickly.
Yes. And as a brand, now that you've adopted some of these solutions, I suppose you also have other solutions. Are there other fields where you're actually already looking at to see, well, these are some of the things that we need to look at in order to create more efficiencies in terms of technology?
We're looking at automatization. Everything that can be automized is a win for us, so we can focus on things that are more important for us.
Yeah.
Like quality, for example. I prefer to spend a lot of time on quality than, for example, encoding packing lists.
Yes.
So, everything that can be automized is a win for us.
It's a vision to carry. I mean, and it's not up to the size of the company and up to the money you have to invest. It's also a vision to carry, because I see in the case of Bellerose, it's not a large, big business or brand, but they already digitize quite a lot of their processes. They have a good tech stack, and that helps them really sustain the future growth and be more agile as they need to step up and keep up with the trend and their structure. So it's important to reflect on that as early as possible, I think.
Yes.
We need to prepare to grow.
Yeah, and invest in good tech products.
Yes, yeah, and I think there's definitely something to that. I think it's important to look to the future and see where technology can enable further efficiencies and sustain growth as well across the board.
And look for the innovation, because in our case, it's true that what we do has been very democratized in France. So we do have a lot of customers in France. And actually, because we are not a conventional tool such as an ERP, or we are not a PLM either, we're in between, but we are really the connector, I would say, between these systems, because we synchronize with the ERP. This is very important for you to get the data back into your ERP system. But we're in between, and in this sense, we are very hybrid.
Yes.
And this is a category actually taking more and more attention because supply chain is a cost center. Yeah. And so now if you want to really act at different level, you have to look at upstream, how you work with your suppliers if you want to develop sustainable practices. And this is where we can say a supplier portal like us can really help to act and work at the level of the purchase order, not only at the level of the product itself.
Yes, yes. Any final remarks before we wrap up for today's episode?
Well, go for it. Automate things.
Ease your job.
Yes, make your life easier. Go for it.
I think, and it's important for the young generation also to know about what tools exist for their day-to-day job, because this is also important for organization to innovate and to keep people in the company and retain the talents. Yes. Because you can no longer work the same way, and you have to bring also the innovation to your employees for them to be motivated. Yes.
I think those are wise words, something that we can all make sure to remember in the daily routines to ensure that we become more efficient and we become more effective across the board. Thank you for an interesting conversation.
Merci.
To both Kaat and Caroline.
Great.
Wish you a good rest of the day.
Yes, thank you. Good end to the fair, and looking forward to the next one.
Very much so. Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Jen.